This video is about the introductory chapter to Margaret Atwood's novel Oryx and Crake. I just want to highlight some of the details in this chapter as an exercise in close reading, and this is just kind of a sort of object lesson of how to read text. Now, we can't read this slowly at every point in the novel because it would take us forever to get through it, but it's the kind of analysis that you want to strive to achieve in the essays that you're writing for the course. So I'll just walk us through some of the details here and gesture towards the analytical or critical points I want to make. So the opening chapter is called Mango. Mango obviously invokes certain ideas. It's a tropical fruit, warm climate, tasty, delicious food, okay? And then the opening word of the chapter is snowman. So there should be an obvious contrast here between the tropical imagination of the mango and then snowman as something that's cold and oppositional to the mango. And the snowman might involve ideas of, say, the abominable snowman and so forth. And Atwood later in the novel, Jimmy Snowman, talks about the kind of snowman that he is, whether he's the abominable snowman or some other snowman. So you can track these things as you go through the novel. Okay? So snowman wakes before dawn. Okay? The opening and closing of novels usually should be considered kind of important. Where do we start? Where do we end? Okay, so snowman wakes. He's coming to a consciousness, okay? And he wakes before dawn. Well, the dawn of what, okay? So it's still night, it's still dark. He's waking up to a kind of consciousness, okay? So this fits in with the dystopian tenor of this novel, that humans, if we take snowman as a kind of representative figure, and there's no reason he has to be representative of everybody, but he's our first character, he's coming to a consciousness of what? And as we find, it's the world that he lives in, this future apocalyptic dystopian world. So how are we supposed to, as readers, as humans, come to an understanding, come to a consciousness, awaken to the future possibilities of humanity? What does the future hold in store for us? It's a new day, as it were, but as we will see, it's not a very good day. This is the dystopian element, okay? But we don't know that yet. It's only upon rereading can we figure this out. He lies unmoving, listening to the tide coming in, wave after wave, sloshing over the various barricades, wish-wash, the rhythm of heartbeat. He would so like to believe he is still asleep. So, asleep ends the paragraph, but waking begins the paragraph. So wake and sleep, different modes of consciousness, okay? We should think about this human condition. Are we aware of the surroundings? What do we dream of? What do we hope will happen? And what is the reality of things? On the eastern horizon, there's a grayish haze lit now with a rosy, deadly glow. So notice that sunrise as a kind of traditional literary image is usually a positive thing, the dawn of a new day. It's wonderful. You go back and read classics like Homer, for example. Homer, when he describes the sunrise, he talks about dawn's rosy fingers coming up over the horizon. Very positive kind of image. Here, though, it's a rosy, and I think Atwood is aware of Homer here. It's a rosy, deadly glow. It's not a good thing. Oh, look, the horizon, the sun's coming up. It's deadly. Not our usual traditional associations. Strange how that color still seems tender. So she's aware that the rosy color of dawn should be comforting, should be tender, yet it's deadly. And so Snowman is deliberating upon this. Yeah, I remember a time when a new day was a good thing. Now it's not so much anymore. Okay. Skip to the next paragraph. Out of habit, he looks at his watch. So this invokes time. Okay. Waking up, new consciousness, future, daytime, sunrise, time is important. Stainless steel case, burnished aluminum band, still shiny, although it no longer works. So the watch, the thing that tells time, is broken, doesn't work. What is our register of time? He wears it now as his only talisman, a blank face is what it shows him: 0 hour. It causes a jolt of terror to run through him, this absence of official time. Nobody, nowhere, knows what time it is. This phrase 0 hour, okay, it's often used in a military context. Not always, but often. It's often used for the countdown for a launch of a spaceship. It's usually used in military times for the 0 hour of when we will attack. But it's often, couched in these sort of industrial military frameworks. So this is something that's going to inform much of the novel. This absence of official time. What's official time? Official by whose standards? Okay, we have Greenwich Mean Time, for example, the great colonial marker that Europe, England in specific, Greenwich, is the start of time, as if the British somehow invented it. Well, they invented, time zones across through their imperial ambitions globally, right? And so we still work on this idea of official time. Nobody, nowhere knows what time it is. Okay, so he's in a time that's post-time. Conventional notions of time have disappeared. Okay, so how does he keep track of his days? Calm down, he tells himself. He takes a few deep breaths, then scratches his bug bites around, but not on the itchiest places, taking care not to knock off any scabs. Blood poisoning is the last thing he needs. Then he scans the ground below for wildlife. All quiet, no scales and tails. Left hand, right foot, right hand, left foot. He makes his way down from the tree. So here's Snowman, almost in the image of a monkey, making his way down from the tree, in a kind of evolutionary metaphor, right? That this is the progress of humanity, that humans come down from the trees, but here Snowman has returned to the trees to sleep, okay, for safety. So, there's something going on with evolution, with humanity as a whole. After brushing off the twigs and bark, he winds his dirty bedsheet around himself like a toga. Togas invoke ancient Greece, early human beginnings. He's hung his authentic replica Red Sox baseball cap. I always love that image, the authentic replica. Well, replicas aren't the original. It's an authentic replica. Authentic replica is what we call an oxymoron, like a jumbo shrimp or a little giant. It's either authentic or it's a replica. Not both, but here it's the authentic replica. And there's lots to be said about this. Jimmy will talk about this with Crake, about genetic engineering and the reality of species. They'll talk about it in terms of boobs later on. Are they real boobs or fake boobs? Are they real animals or genetically engineered animals? What's real? What's fake? Very important element in the text. Here, just compressed into this baseball cap. Okay. So I'm going to stop there and continue in another video just because of time reasons.